What if black holes are actually doorways to other universes? The night was thick and heavy, the kind where even the air feels weighted down by unseen forces. Dr. Alina Carter stood at the edge of her observatory, peering through a high-powered telescope into the vast expanse of space. She had always been fascinated by black holes, those cosmic anomalies that defied explanation. But tonight, something felt different. Alina's heart raced as she focused on a distant point in the sky where a black hole was known to exist. The data streaming from her instruments showed unusual readings, fluctuations in gravity and energy that no current theory could explain. She scribbled notes furiously, her mind racing with possibilities. What if these anomalies were more than just scientific curiosities? What if they were doorways? Her thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the observatory door. It was her colleague, Dr. Marcus Green, a skeptical but brilliant physicist. "Alina, what are you still doing here?" he asked, his voice tinged with concern. "Just one more minute," she replied, not taking her eyes off the screen. "I think I might be onto something." Marcus stepped closer, peering over her shoulder. The data was indeed peculiar. That as some strange activity, he admitted, though his tone remained skeptical. "But what are you suggesting?" Alina turned to him, her eyes alight with excitement and a hint of fear. "What if black holes aren't just gravitational sinks? What if they raid doorways to other universes?" Marcus laughed, but it was a nervous laugh. "That's the stuff of science fiction, Alina. We can just jump to those conclusions. But think about it," she insisted. "The energy fluctuations, the way they bend space and time, what if they raid not destroying matter but transporting it?" Marcus shook his head, still unconvinced. "Even if that were true, how would we ever prove it? And more importantly, why risk it?" Alina's resolve hardened. "Because sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. Science is about exploring the unknown, not just confirming what we already believe." She turned back to her instruments, determined to gather more data. Hours passed as she and Marcus worked together, analyzing the readings and running simulations. The anomalies persisted, growing stronger with each passing moment. Finally, Alina made a decision. "We need to send a probe," she said, her voice steady but filled with an underlying tension. Marcus's eyes widened in alarm. "A probe? Are you mad? We don't know what we're dealing with." Alina smiled, a mix of determination and fear. "That's the point. We have to find out." They spent the next few weeks preparing a small, unmanned spacecraft equipped with advanced sensors. The launch was tense, but the probe successfully entered the gravitational pull of the black hole. Alina and Marcus watched in awe as the data began streaming back. At first, it was chaotic, fluctuations so wild that they seemed impossible to interpret. But then something shifted. The readings stabilized, revealing patterns that defied explanation. It was as if the probe had entered a different realm entirely. Alina's heart pounded as she studied the data. "It's happening," she whispered. "The probe is on the other side." Marcus leaned in, his skepticism giving way to wonder. "This is incredible, but what does it mean?" Alina's mind raced with possibilities. If black holes were indeed doorways to other universes, the implications were staggering. It could change our understanding of the cosmos forever. But as they continued to analyze the data, a sense of unease crept over them. The patterns in the readings were not random, they seemed almost intelligent, like a code waiting to be deciphered. Alina's excitement turned to apprehension. "Marcus," she said, her voice trembling, "what if we are not alone? What if these other universes are inhabited?" The room fell silent as they both pondered the implications. The idea of other life forms, potentially more advanced than humans, was both thrilling and terrifying. Suddenly, the data on the screen changed again. A series of pulses appeared, forming a pattern that seemed almost like a message. Alina's hands shook as she tried to interpret it. "Marcus, look," she said, pointing to the screen. "It's a sequence, it's trying to communicate." Marcus's eyes widened in realization. "We need to respond. We have to try and understand what it's saying." Alina nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. They worked feverishly, decoding the message as best they could. The more they deciphered, the more they realized that this was not just a scientific discovery, it was a call for contact. As they prepared to send their response, Alina couldn't shake the feeling of foreboding. What if these other beings were not benevolent? What if they saw humans as a threat? But it was too late to turn back now. They sent their message into the void, a small but significant step towards understanding the vast, unknown universe. The night stretched on, and Alina and Marcus waited with bated breath for a response. The stars above seemed to shimmer with anticipation, as if the cosmos itself was holding its breath. And then, it happened. A new set of pulses appeared on the screen, forming a message that was unmistakably a reply. "Hello," it read. "We have been waiting." Alina and Marcus exchanged a look of awe and trepidation. The journey had only just begun, and they were about to step into the unknown, hash through the Wormholes fraud. A cautionary tale of Silicon Valley introduction in 2015. Elizabeth Holmes and her company, the Ranos, were the darlings of Silicon Valley, promising to revolutionize medical diagnostics with a device that could run hundreds of tests on just a single drop of blood. The Ranos had raised over $700 million in venture capital and was valued at nearly $9 billion. However, behind the glossy facade lay a web of lies, deception, and dangerously inaccurate test results. The story of the Ranos is not just about one woman's hubris, but also about the dangers of blind faith in charismatic founders and the perils of prioritizing hype over scientific rigor. The rise of the Ranos *. Elizabeth Holmes founded the Ranos in 2003 when she was just 19 years old, dropping out of Stanford University to pursue her vision. The company's flagship product was a portable device called the Edison, which promised to perform various blood tests with unprecedented speed and accuracy. By 2015, the Ranos had secured partnerships with major retailers like Walgreens and Safeway, and Holmes was lauded as a visionary entrepreneur. The deception unveiled, however, the reality behind the Ranos' success was far from rosy. The Edison device did not work as advertised. Instead of using their proprietary technology, the Ranos often relied on traditional lab equipment to run tests, often with inaccurate results. Whistleblowers like Tyler Schultz and Erica Chung began to raise concerns about the company's practices, but they were met with threats and intimidation. The Wall Street Journal ** in October 2015. A series of articles in the Wall Street Journal by John Carreyrou exposed the truth about the Ranos. The reports revealed that the Edison device was unreliable, test results were frequently wrong, and patient safety was at risk. The expose sparked an investigation by regulatory bodies and led to the unraveling of the Ranos' empire. Regulatory backlash and legal consequences. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, conducted an inspection in 2016, finding that the Ranos had failed to meet basic laboratory standards. As a result, the company was banned from operating blood testing labs, and Holmes was stripped of her lab director's license. Investors, doctors, and patients who had trusted the Ranos were left reeling. The trials * Elizabeth Holmes and Sunny Balwani, the Ranos' COO and Holmes' secret boyfriend, faced multiple charges of fraud. The trial began in late 2021, and after a lengthy proceeding, Holmes was found guilty on 4 counts of defrauding investors. She was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Balwani was found guilty on all 12 counts and received nearly 13 years. The aftermath: the Ranos dissolved in 2018, leaving behind a trail of broken trust and financial ruin. Investors lost hundreds of millions of dollars, and patients were left with false diagnoses that had significant impacts on their lives. The Ranos scandal serves as a stark reminder of the importance of transparency, scientific integrity, and the dangers of unchecked ambition in the tech industry. Conclusion: the story of the Ranos is a cautionary tale about the consequences of prioritizing hype over substance. It highlights the need for rigorous oversight,